If you're anything like me, you might have been born with a head full of hair. My mom said the hair really gave her a lot of heartburn when she carried me, and so when I popped out, the hair kept giving me pain, in the neck, that is. I have what many consider coarse hair. It grows a lot. It just isn't straight. And that can be pretty aggravating when you grow up in a family where straight hair was considered a blessing, and my hair, well, more like a curse. For years, it sort of gave me a complex. I was always trying to find just the right something, the right style to make it straight enough. And I had many a stylist and hairdresser call my hair this word. Yes, nappy. The online dictionary.com defines it as downy, from 1499, meaning fuzzy, kinky, used in colloquial or derogatory reference to the hair of black people. The word apparently stems back before slavery times in the U.S. So for years, I've tried to escape this definition. I've tried the curl, if you remember that in the 80s. I've tried coloring it. It always seemed to dry every follicle out and end up falling out. I've pressed and curled and permed, and I've braided. I've cut it all off. That was fun. I let it all grow back. Finally, I just decided, this is your hair. It's you. Chemicals are only a temporary fix. Eventually, it'll all break off again, and you'll be left with you. So why not embrace it? So I figured since I'd tried just about everything, including weaves, I'd try an all-natural hairstyle, but with a twist. And this would be Sisterlocks. And for those of you who don't know what Sisterlocks are, I'll let a professional explain.
Traditional locks are made with your by palm rolling and or twisting, and you use butters or gels or any type of substance to hold the lock together. Sisterlocks are small pieces of hair that are basically woven together to create the lock, similar to an upside down braid, or a micro braid. And you're not relying on any substances to hold the lock together.
So why would a person go for Sisterlocks versus, let's say, micro braids? What's the like?
It's the technique that you're using. Micro braids are not set or laid down with a pattern. Sisterlocks are laid down with a grid. It is a pattern that you must use. And braiding is just the overlapping of the braid.
I think the founder and developer of the Sisterlock technique, Dr. Joanne Cornwell, said it best when she explained that it's best to think of Sisterlocks as if you think about getting your hair relaxed. I know that sounds strange, but what I think she meant by this is when African American women put relaxers in their hair, they don't do this to only later take the relaxer out. Sisterlocks are a technique, a system that allows you to wear your hair with the texture you were born with. It gives you a wide range of styling options without altering your texture. Fennell Anderson runs the New Lock Hair and Day Spa in Teaneck, New Jersey, and another separate salon in New York City. She says she was the first person in the New York, New Jersey area to have a salon that exclusively offered Sisterlocks and natural hair care for African Americans.
Because when we started, it was really relatively new to the East Coast, and there weren't a lot of technicians, and the technicians that were doing Sisterlocks were doing it as a home-based business. I think Dr. Cromwell started this back in the late 80s or early 90s, if I can recollect. And I happened to stumble across it from a friend of mine who just mentioned it, and I had opened up my natural hair care business in Bergen County. And even Bergen County didn't have a natural hair care salon, all natural hair care salon. So I was the first person in Bergen County to open up a natural hair care salon. And with that, the first person in Bergen County to offer this Sisterlocks. And people didn't even know what I was talking about back in the late 90s. And even in New York City, they weren't even doing it.
She says she opened her shop in the 1990s after trying Sisterlocks on herself.
With Sisterlocks, I never seem to have a bad hair day. I don't run away from the rain. I don't have to worry about it being curled, curly, straight, or what hairstyle is going to go with what outfit I have on. My hair really didn't take 2 perms very well. I mean, I put a perm in my hair and 2 weeks later my hair would snap back into its natural curl. I'd like the look of the locks, and actually I had traditional locks in the beginning, and they looked really hard on me. I mean, it wasn't a soft look for me. And I saw the Sisterlocks, and I really liked the way that they conform to your hair texture and the versatility that it gave me. So I ventured off into it, and it's the best thing I've ever done.
A few common questions people have about Sisterlocks are, can any hair type be converted to Sisterlocks?
Yes, yes, yes. Like I said, depending on your curl pattern and the tightness of your hair and your hair texture, all types of hair, just like all types of hair can be braided. Some might come out faster than the others. And you have to be very conscious of your hair texture and the things that you do with your hair on a day-to-day basis. Like straighter hair will probably come out a lot easier, or unravel, or come out the braid a lot faster than someone with very coarse textured hair.
Is the hairstyle difficult to maintain?
There is no such thing as a maintenance-free hairdo. And depending on your lifestyle and your daily habits will determine how fast or how slow your hair grows and the process that it goes through. One should come back every 4 or 6 weeks. Sisterlocks are maintained basically on how fast your hair grows. So you take for instance, your hair grows maybe about 1/4 of an inch per month. Some people's hair grow in spurts. And you need to get each and every one retightened. Just like when you get your hair colored. As your roots grow in, you need to recolor your roots. It's like you had a perm. As your hair grows in, you need to perm in the new growth. So yes, your hair is open from your scalp to the end of the Sisterlock once you had it last retightened. So you need to retighten those locks again. And you have to make sure that your base of your hair near your scalp is going to be able to support the rest of your hair as it matures, because it's going to get thicker and it's going to get heavier.
Can you take Sisterlocks out?
Depending on how long you had them in will determine how tight they are. In the beginning, I guess you have about 3 months before they start to settle in your head. But, I mean, you have like over 400 small locks in your head. You're going to be taking a small tooth comb and picking them out one by one. I mean, they don't take maybe 6 months to a year for them to settle. And depending on how tight and coarse your hair is, it might even be a shorter time before they settle. But yes, it can be reversed and you can take them out.
Are they expensive to put in?
Depending on where you live, depending on how long the person has been doing it, that will determine the price. You can get starter locks, Sisterlocks, for as low as $400, and then it gets higher. New York City probably gets, because it's a major market, you probably get it'll be a higher rate.
How versatile are Sisterlocks when it comes to style?
When I first started my salon, I was working at the Inner City Broadcasting Corporation as a director of marketing and promotion. And although there was radio, I still had to, maintain a professional appearance. And I found that when I went to big corporations to do a presentation, I was suited down and I wore my hair back in a French roll or in a bun and was It was very professional. I have so many locks. People didn't even know what it was. They knew it wasn't straight, but I wasn't, coming in with this big afro or this offensive hairdo that made them stand back or be intimidated by my look. I still maintained a very professional, soft, feminine look with my locks.
I also learned maintenance is every 4 to 6 weeks. You can wash and condition your hair as needed with a technician's direction, and no creams or regular hair products are needed on a regular basis. So I took my self-braided hair loose and gave my stylist, Fennell Anderson, a crack at it. Okay, so this is the beginning of the first day of your Sisterlocks.
Oh yeah, it is. We're gonna get it done.
You got this big, big, gigantic afro.
And it's gonna get chopped off.
Yep, you look really happy now.
I hope I'm not gonna look sad later. I hope you look happy.
I don't think you'll look sad from the hairdo. You just look sad from the time that you will have spent here. Because we're going to be here for a long, 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 long time. It took 2 days and about 15 hours, even with a cut. I have a lot of hair. I admit I was tired when it was all done. But today, I'm happy to embrace my natural texture of hair. Nappy, kinky, whatever you want to call it, it's me. And now I'm free.